Are you going to invite your unvaccinated relatives to sit at the dinner table with you this Thanksgiving? Experts are saying you might not want to risk it. Here's why. According to one expert from McMaster University, vaccines are super effective, but they're most effective when you're surrounded by other vaccinated people. If you invite someone who isn't vaccinated, there's a risk of having a breakthrough case. Now, breakthrough cases are pretty rare. There's only ever been about 8,000 in Ontario, but kids can't get vaccinated yet. So part of keeping those kids as safe as possible is telling that one uncle who chooses not to get vaccinated that he might have to sit this one out. One bioethicist said that that's actually the more ethical thing to do. She also said you should try talking to your relatives about how safe vaccination is. The best way to do that is to start the conversation from a place of respect and empathy. Say things like, I understand you're feeling pressure. I know you're freaked out, but here's why this is important. You can read more at globalnews.ca.
I'm not even angry at Rachel Gilmore. I'm angry at Global News. This is still up on the internet, people. Let me just see when this was. I know it's 2021, so the science has changed. I want to go through each element of that idiotic video TikTok journalism post and then contextualize it with a tweet from Rachel Gilmore today. When was it? I can't see too good. I know it was from February 20. Okay, it was from. Does anybody know how this works? Oh, here we go. It's from 10/5. So that's either May 10th or October 5th. It's from 2021. The science has changed. Everybody's learned. Everybody's all the wiser now. Let's just start this from the beginning. And when people ask, how could atrocities have happened in the past? Understand how they could have happened, that they did happen, why they happened, and most importantly, how people convinced themselves that they were being righteous in the past when they committed those atrocities. Let's break this down element by element because it's glorious. And then I'm going to intertwine this or dovetail this, or what the heck is the word? Connect this to a book that I just listened to when I was on an airplane for 10 hours. Great book. And I'm going to give the Amazon affiliate link. Stephen is his first name. Stephen Deese's. It's called the Rise of the Fourth Reich, and we're going to get, we're going to tie that all in together in a second. Okay, let's just break this down one more time.
Are you going to invite your unvaccinated relatives to sit at the dinner table with you this Thanksgiving?
Replace the word unvaccinated with any religious, racial, ethnic, gender term. Replace the word unvaccinated with, are you going to invite, what did she say, your unvaccinated relatives?
Are you going to invite your unvaccinated relatives to sit at the dinner table with you this Thanksgiving?
Are you going to invite your Jewish relatives, your black relatives, your gay cousin? Are you going to invite them to sit at the dinner table with you today? Oh, no. But this is legitimate discrimination because it's scientific, because experts said.
Experts are saying you might not want to risk it.
She's not lying. She's not lying because she's not telling you might not want to risk it. She's just deferring all responsibility to the expert. Do you guys know what the Milgram experiment is? I presume everybody knows what the Milgram experiment is.
Here's why. According to one expert from McMaster University.
Another expert from McMaster. That's a good university. We used to play squash against them when we were back in McGill days. Another expert. It's not her saying it. She's not. I'm not. Don't look at me. I'm not taking your grandmother's house. It's the government that's taking it. It's the experts.
Vaccines are super effective, but they're most effective when you're surrounded by other vaccinated people.
My bulletproof vest only protects me from bullets when you are also wearing a bulletproof vest. I know the analogy is not perfect, but it's pretty damn good, actually. I need you to wear a bulletproof vest in order to enhance the protectiveness of my bulletproof vest. And by the way, this has all turned out to be scientifically untrue.
If you invite someone who isn't vaccinated, there's a risk of having a breakthrough case. Now, breakthrough cases are pretty rare.
Make it a quote, Twitter. Breakthrough cases are super rare. My goodness, how within a year they went from being super rare to being the norm.
There's only ever been about 8,000 in Ontario.
Times a billion.
But kids can't get vaccinated yet. So part of keeping those kids as safe as possible is telling that one uncle who chooses not to get vaccinated that he might have to sit this one out.
Safe from what? Safe implies that there was something of an excessive or a disproportionate risk for kids in the first place, which there wasn't ever. Oh, sorry. No, let me rephrase. Ever for the Rona, for COVID. Statistically, many people don't know this. The seasonal flu was more dangerous for children than COVID. That was a blessing in disguise that nobody seemed to appreciate back in the day, except for those who knew. Oh, protect the kids. Tell your Jewish uncle, we don't want your kind at our table this Christmas.
One bioethicist said that that's actually the more ethical thing to do.
One bioethicist said that that's the more ethical thing to do. And once upon a time, there were bioethicists that told the Nazi regime that killings were actually mercy killings. And the ethical thing to do is to end the life of a mentally handicapped individual. It was to end the life of a baby born with deformities. It's the ethical thing to do. Okay, where do I stick the needle in?
She also said you should try talking to your relatives about how safe vaccination is. The best way to do that is to start the conversation from a place of respect and empathy.
How are you going to do that, Rachel, when you've told them they can't come to the dinner table? I respect and empathize with you. Don't come in my house, you filthy, unclean cast.
Say things like, I understand you're feeling pressure.
Well, manipulate. Be pathological. Oh, my God.
I know you're freaked out, but here's why this
You know who's freaked out? You.
is important.
Rachel.
You can read more at globalnews.ca.
No, thank you. No, thank you, globalnews.ca. And by the way, that's still up. And the reason why that came up today was because, let me see if I can pull up the tweet real quick, lack. It was because just today, Rachel Gilmore put out a tweet. It's all confession through projection to the bottom. Rachel put out a tweet today that said, and I quote, the Raven, nevermore. The far right's priority has been COVID conspiracies. And that is still a very dominant theme in their spaces. Said, oh, she's just quoting someone. Conspiracies are a dominant theme in their spaces, says the woman who said unvaccinated people pose a greater risk and breakthrough cases are uncommon and you need to get vaccinated to protect the unvaccinated and that children are at greater risk. Yeah, the far right are the ones that are conspiracy theorists that spend a lot of time on it. What COVID conspiracies are you talking about, Rachel? The ones that you helped spread, like that unvaccinated people are a greater risk to the vaccinated? Oh, my goodness. How's everybody doing? Let me just do one thing first. I'm going to go to Amazon because everyone should read the book, The Rise of the Fourth. Are they selling? Yeah, Steve Deese. Okay, we had him on the channel a while back. I listened to it on, what's the word? Audible. Audible would like to thank you for purchasing this production. I listened to it over the weekend on Audible. Here we go. Go get the book. Amazon affiliate link. It's not called grifting, people. It's just called smart work. So I listened to the novel by Steve Deese and Horowitz. I forget his first name as well. And it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. If from my own perspective, I would have thought it more productive to not use terms like plandemic and bioweapon when referring to the vaccine, because those types of terms will do nothing to what's the word I'm looking for? To convert the minds of those who are on the fence. It might just push them away. Bioweapon, I have no problem regarding the Rona itself, COVID itself as a bioweapon, because I think now that's probably the more likely explanation. Something that was developed through gain of function research, concealed, lied about in a lab in Wuhan, China, unleashed upon the world. If it wasn't intended to be a bioweapon, it was certainly exploited as one after release to the world. But whatever, the jab, I think referring to that as a bioweapon, it might be music to the ears of those who already believe it, but it will do nothing to actually convince those who are on the fence. That being said, the book is amazing. And it's 15, 16 chapters, and each chapter is a different story. Now, I was already very familiar with a lot of them. You had a military doctor in there talking about her experience of discrimination. A military doctor in the U.S. military raising the flags about exceedingly high adverse reactions. The discrimination she felt for asking normal questions, the backlash and the reprisals that she lived through as a result of it. You have the chapter on Stephanie DeGarry, Maddie DeGarry's mother. You had a chapter on, some parents who had their kids taken from them for treating them with the horse dewormer. It's a great read, or in my case, a great listen. The narration was actually quite beautiful. So go check it out. Now, people, for those who didn't know why I was on hiatus from last Friday, I take a day off, and I don't even think it was a day off, and I feel like I have fallen behind on the world's descent into madness. We had our very first meet and greet in Vegas. Viva Barnes, Eric Hunley from America's Untold Stories with Mark Robert, his partner, we've been demonetized. Rachel Gilmore, thanks, man. This is what YouTube thinks of your reporting. We had our first meet and greet in Vegas Sunday night, and it was amazing. Friday afternoon, I did an interview with Hotep Jesus, which was phenomenal, in my humble opinion, but all interviews are. Then Saturday morning, flew down to Vegas, met up with Eric Hunley. We walked the Vegas Strip. I did no gambling. We did no partying. And then Sunday, we had our meet and greet. 50 tickets sold out in 2 minutes. It was a very small venue, and we're starting small, and we're going to scale up. And it was amazing meeting longtime subs, longtime members of the locals community. And then what happened after that? So we had that. Then I flew back yesterday, got back late at night because flights are just consistently delayed, and I'm tired. But it was amazing. And a moment that will live with me for a long time. Hold on one second. It was a beautiful moment. No. Look, I know I put it up here. Here we go. When Bobby Barnes. I've met Robert Barnes. I don't think he had met Mark Robert in person. I know he met Hunley in Virginia, but check this out. The event was at the Italian American Club. It's a restaurant. It was the set for a few scenes in Casino. And it was fantastic. Check it. Robert Barnes shows up in a tux like the Rat Pack, and I showed up in an Untuck It shirt that I bought that morning because I decided that a t-shirt would have been too casual.
Hey, no, Rob, you got the D Martin look now.
Right, I'm down with
All
it.
right, so I said on a scale of 1 to 10, we got 10,
That's
8,
Mark Robert,
9,
Eric Hunley,
2.
and me.
Sir, how goes it?
You guys see each other all the time.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
here,
how you
baby.
doing?
Come here, baby.
Grobert was drinking not just a Red Bull, but a big Red Bull. And by the way, I think the announcement has been made. Eric Hunley has formally gone wild and gone free and is now doing the America's Untold Stories Unstructured Podcast Layback News full-time. So check out Hunley, America's Untold Stories. Give him some support and show him some love. All right. We are simultaneously streaming on Rumble. Check. Let's just refresh and see where we're at there. Beautiful. We're simultaneously streaming on Locals. And by the way, sorry, before we get going here, just a standard, now we're doing the cleanup after the rant. We will be going exclusive on Locals at the end of the stream for a very special unboxing. That's one. There's actually 2 boxes. I had to recreate this one because I had to tear off the address information. I don't want to dox anybody. So there's going to be a special unboxing exclusive on Locals. After we end this on YouTube, we go to Rumble and Locals, and then we're going to end on Rumble, and we're going to be exclusively on Locals for that. Okay. And then there's another box, which is also going to be unboxed. No medical advice, no election fortification advice, and no legal advice. If you need a lawyer, consult a lawyer. You cannot get internet legal advice any more than you can get internet medical advice, except it's almost easier to Google pretty accurate medical advice. Legal advice is always fact-dependent, jurisdictional-dependent, and if you get advice for free, you get what you pay for. Okay, no medical advice. Oh, yeah, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. YouTube takes 30% of Super Chats. If you don't like that, simultaneously streaming on Rumble, they have a Rumble Rant where they take 20%, so better to support a platform that supports free speech and better for the creator. You can join us on Locals if you so choose, vivabarneslaw.locals.com, or you can go to Viva Frei and get some merch if you so choose. Looking sharp, Viva in Vegas. Yeah, I'm going to put up another video afterwards of there was a piano man and he played Viva. I'm not going to sing it. I'm going to get the whole stream claimed. Okay. So Doug in Orlando. Viva makes the world a better place. Thanks. And finally, I subscribed. Oh yeah, I should also remember, first of all, thank you very much. I'm not a sucker for flattery, but I do like being told that I'm actually making a difference, because sometimes it feels like we're screaming into the void, into the abyss. And sometimes we are, but every now and again, you might just echo back. And it's better to scream into the abyss than it is to stare into the abyss, because you all know the expression, if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back. When battling monsters, be sure not to become a monster. Is Marion taller than Viva? No. Not that I picked a short woman on purpose. Our genes worked well together. And by that, I mean, Levi genes. Okay, all right, joke's over. Okay, so on the menu for today, the rent. Oh, by the way, the whole kicker from the Rachel Gilmore disinformation accusing others of spreading conspiracy theories is that a bunch of journalists were just laid off at Global News. And I say this not to like shout and for it, they got what they deserve, period. Losing your job is a traumatic thing. Not learning as to, success leaves clues, as my father always said growing up. The ball doesn't lie was the other expression he always used growing up. Like, I used to go golfing with my dad, and it's like, I hit the ball perfectly. And he says, if you hit the ball perfectly, it wouldn't have sliced 100 yards to the right. So the ball doesn't lie. When you strike a ball clean, it will go straight. Success leaves clues, and incompetence also leaves clues. So when news agencies who are suckling at the teat of government subsidies, direct and indirect, have to lay off employees because they can't do their jobs for Pfizer, maybe they want to take a step back and say, what are we doing wrong? Instead of doubling down and keep calling people names, conspiracy theorists. So Rachel Gilmore, I feel very bad that she and a lot of other journalists at Global News lost their jobs. Maybe if they did their jobs properly, they would be value added to the world, and people would have no problem relying on them for the information so they could derive ad revenue or whatever, or subscription-based models. Success leaves clues, as does incompetence. Oh, hold on. Luck is the residue of design. I like that. And there's another one. Success is just a matter of luck. Ask any failure. That's from a Lazy Boy song. So anyways, the kicker is after having, they've laid off a bunch of journalists from Global News. Rachel Gilmore had what I think was a tiff on Twitter with Global News, because, she was suggesting that she had sacrificed a lot, endured a lot, and Global News nonetheless laid her off. Nobody's learning the right lessons here. All that people want is the truth. And if you put out lies, you will see the consequences of putting out lies. If you just happen to be bad at what you do and you get it wrong too often, or you make mistakes that are not forgivable mistakes, that also will lead to consequences in terms of viewership, in terms of interest, in terms of reliability. Nobody learns. What do we got here? Happy Taco Tuesday, Viva. Can't wait to make a meetup. So we're going to be doing them. Master Mulrubius, that is a beautiful flipping cat. Is that oh, that was my dog. We're going to be doing these meetups throughout the country, and we figure, within the vicinity of any relatively populous area, we'll have enough people who can come in to meet up. So I think we're doing one in Chattanooga, is next on the list in mid-April, and then we're going to do one in Florida. But we're starting small, get the logistics, make sure it all works smoothly, and moving forward from there. And for those who couldn't make it to the Viva Barnes in Vegas, we're going to be selling the Hush Hush episode, like a standalone, maybe an hour, give or take, for $9.99 or something along those lines. Details we're going to figure out on Locals. Annual subscribers are going to get it for free. So those who couldn't make it are going to get it. And it was a good Hush Hush. Oh, I did that by accident, but it was a good Hush Hush about the Vegas shooter, Stephen Paddock. Beautiful. And the event was just beautiful. All right. Do we end? We're going to end on, I guess, before we even start, or do we do one subject matter on YouTube and then move over to Rumble? Come to London. There's discussion about going to Australia, but my goodness, I don't travel well. I don't like not sleeping. I don't like flying. Yeah, 50 people sold out in 2 seconds. Yeah, Rockstar, it's sold out. Oh, your name is Rockstar, like a rock star, not Rockstar Murray. Rockstar. I've been saying your name forever, and I just finally got it. I heard Rachel Gilmore got fired by Global. I don't know, by the way. And I wouldn't do a like my father, like a machaya. Like I wouldn't feel good even if she did. But maybe people want to learn from their mistakes. And that includes Global News. Heart Tackle, loved seeing the meet and greet. Going to make the next one. Keep up all the great work. Heart Tackle, make some good tackle. Thank you very much. Giacondo Susini says, Viva, old Italian saying, the truth always floats to the top. I agree with that. The only problem is, depending on the context, other stuff also floats to the top. Okay, we're going to go over to YouTube after I share this deep thought with all of you. Expressions in the human language that are mutually contradictory. He who hesitates is lost. Look before you leap. That's the only one I can really think of right now, but there's a bunch. Or do we just do one quick story here? One quick story? I don't think any of them are quick. Now let's do them all. Let's do them all on Rumble, everybody. And that way, it'll make it easier to snip and clip for Viva Clips on YouTube and to post all things. Okay, let's do it. Let's go over to Rumble. In 3. So over to Rumble. And then we're going to cover the stories. We got Hunter Biden finally under the meaningful spotlight. It seems. I'm not going to say the walls are closing in like some people are saying, because we've heard that time and time again with Trump, and it's just never panned out to be true. But the shit's hitting the fan with Hunter and some questionable business dealings and the, I don't know, House Oversight. Some committee is going to be able to look at it. Hunter Biden. Pfizer miraculously has $43 billion to acquire, conveniently enough, a company that is pioneering research in cancer treatment. It's just amazing, eh? Like, where'd they get that $43 billion to reinvest in acquiring a company? And what a coincidence that they happen to be acquiring a company that treats cancer, because cancers are, on the rise for one of 2 reasons, neither of which are good. And then some stuff coming out of Canada. All right. What's a Rumble, says Rar. Let's do it. Moving on over to the Rumbles. And then I'll see you there. Ending it on YouTube.